anybody make the concert last night? Did anybody not make the concert and is regretting it?
We missed you, Jared.
Well, I still love y'all.
He's counting on some of you to post videos, so he can
Did anybody take videos? Anybody wants? No? No? Okay. I'll have to have you redo it then. Whose first time? My second favorite question. Who started watching this show within 2 years ago? I love that. We're getting stronger. We're gaining momentum. Sorry, I'm not used to being in front of microphones. Yeah. We can share.
Hello there. Can you hear yourself?
Yeah, I can hear me. I can hear you too.
Okay. Hey. How many of you are Canadian?
We're sort of like honorary by now. I've spent a third of my life in Canada. I'm not kidding. Yeah. And at least this is the warm Canada, not like Ontario. Right? Isn't Toronto and Montreal, aren't they all snowy and crazy? Did anybody come? Sask? That's a fake word.
Alberta.
Yeah, Moose Jaw.
Yeah, we could be filming in none of it.
You could. I'll have none of that.
All of the Canadians are like, just like, I don't understand what I'm saying.
Well, cool. Let's get to some questions. I'm sure there's some people. Yes, right there. She's opening up her phone.
She's like, oh, me? Oh, I'm just gonna make a phone call.
Hey, Mom? Yeah.
He picked me first.
I'll be home later.
Okay, I'm leaving now. You owe me $100.
So, I want to thank Jared.
That is not a Canadian accent.
It's Australian.
Love it.
For teaching me, or us, that volcanoes are like mountains that are volcanoes. I didn't know that you didn't go to college. So, I was wondering where that quote came from.
So that.
I got the, sorry, at the NerdHQ panel,
Let her finish.
you gave out fantails, and I was wondering if you would like some more.
I would always like more fantails. But so Clickhole is a satirical website, and none of the articles they do are true. They just make fun of celebrities and stuff. And so I saw it, and it made me laugh because the picture also is one of the pictures where I'm like, it looks like something I would have said. So I never actually said it, and I indeed did not go to college. But I thought, what was the quote? So it was saying it was like quotes from the stars, and my quote was, volcanoes are like mountains, that are volcanoes. Total Keanu Reeves moment. Bill and Ted Keanu Reeves. That's it.
And man, it's like an epiphany too. It's like, oh, volcanoes are like mountains that are volcanoes. Now I get it.
Eureka.
Jared, tell us about your aha moment.
Volcanoes are like mountains.
All right.
Thank you for the question. Did you do something?
Nope. Yeah.
Right.
Just yell it. You've got a loud enough voice.
Hi. Morning, y'all.
Make a solo record so I can come see you perform.
That would require me to have music and to write music and to have songs, which I don't do. Oh, just bum their songs? Sorry, Rob, guys. I'm gonna take your songs now.
They can help you write them.
They can help me right there. Yeah, you know, I will say that it was, I kind of blacked out. I'm not quite sure what happened up here last night. I do know that I walked backstage afterwards and went like, what just happened? That was quite an adrenaline rush. And I was actually talking to somebody, and I'm like, now I get why that is the #1 job, I think, in the world, is to be a rock star.
That's how people do it until they're like 70. What's Mick Jagger, 93?
Exactly. Yeah, it's not like he can't retire.
It's hard up.
Yeah. So yeah, but you know, I've been asked that question, you know, to do music, and again, I say I'm not a musician. I just like music, and if I can surround myself with musically talented people, and that just is a lot of fun for me. I won't say that that'll never happen, but I don't know if it'll happen anytime soon.
Also, Jared, I didn't forget you.
That's okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Dean Forrester rules. Nice ranking.
I don't know what that means.
The other one. I saw someone, I saw a little shape jumping, and I thought it was cute. Is that a human being, or is that a trick of the eye?
Does it look like an airplane's coming at us?
Is there an airplane?
Hi. I have a question for both of you. In Yellow Fever, how many takes did you guys have to do when the cat jumped out?
How many takes?
How many takes did you get
So
that?
scary.
I remember Phil was directing that episode, and I did one take, obviously not nearly as corny as they ended up with. And then he said, listen, I want you to just scream as loud and as long as you possibly can. Don't worry.
They went on for a long time.
Don't worry, I can always save it in editing. And I don't know why I decided to trust him that day.
I think they still did cut a little bit out.
They did. Oh yeah. Hey, look, don't threaten me with, you know, a good time. I will start chasing you around.
It went on so long, but I was like, okay, well, he's just gonna keep going. I'm gonna relax. Then Ackles comes up and like jumps on me.
So we did it, I don't know, maybe we did it like 2, maybe 3 times, and then I finally told Phil, I was like, listen, we've got the scene in that episode where, you know who does that? Crazy people!
Same day.
That we actually shot that scene directly after the cat scare scene. And I knew that there was a lot of dialogue in that scene, and I told Phil, I'm like, listen, if I keep going with this cat screaming thing, I'm not gonna have a voice to speak in this next scene, so we ended up not doing too many takes of it. But
Phil's like, that's cool.
he's like, yeah, that's fine. I'd rather get this and just save that for another day. Yeah.
And the irony of that episode is the only person who actually got scared during the filming of that episode was me. With the snake coming over. It was a big snake. And the guy, and I was like, man, the guy is laying on his back behind the couch. This mat was 15 feet or something like hundreds of pounds.
It was, I think it was like 180 pounds. 180 pounds.
He's
Like
like trying to
9
push the snake over. And I'm like, he's gonna piss that snake off. That snake's like, I'm out of here.
Well, the snake didn't want to, it wasn't going, and so this snake wrangler
True job, real job.
was like, punching it, like, oh, yeah, that's good. Anger it up and then send it over here. I'm not kidding, and the snake was like not wanting to crawl over the couch. It wanted to just go down to the floor and kept like pushing it, shoving it. I look over the couch and this guy is like, I mean, it was like wrestling a snake, just trying to get it to come over to me. And so I just remember at that one point when the snake finally did decide to come over my shoulder, I looked, and it was the head's bigger than my fist.
Oh, that's cute. That was good. We
Meanwhile,
did the other side.
Meanwhile, Jared's like 6 feet away at the other end of the couch, and he just goes, yeah. It's on me, and he's the one running out of the room.
I'm not gonna die for a shot I'm not even in. I'm gonna die, it needs to be on camera. Thank you. Yes. Oh you don't have a voice. You're gonna need a mic. Is that due to last night or 2 nights ago? And last week, right on.
Yeah.
So this has been a whole week in progress.
It's been 2 weeks. I'm actually shocked that I'm alive right now. So I travel for a living, and I know that you guys don't get a lot of time by yourselves to do whatever you want. So given the opportunity, where would you go on a road trip?
On a road trip? I would actually love to go, and I've talked about this for a long time, I would love to go kind of to Montana or north of Montana, Canada.
So not
That area of the Rockies, like Banff, and the pictures I've seen. I hear there's a train that does it as well.
it goes east-west.
Yeah, so I would love to kind of go on a road trip through the mountains. It's fun because I think I would do a lot of road trips when I was kind of between Gilmore Girls and San Antonio. I would drive back and forth I-10 in America, and it's flat. And so you just kind of zone out, and when you're kind of driving in the mountains, it forces you to slow down because you're not going to go 80 miles an hour around a hairpin turn. You might, I'm not going to. So it forces you to slow down and really see the scenery, really take the time. So I think I'd probably try and go to the mountains.
Yeah, that's a good option. I
Still my answer.
I really like the southern Oregon coast, northern California coast, like the redwoods, and we used to drive up and back down every year for the season. We'd drive up in the beginning of July, and then we would drive down mid-April when the season would end. And a few times we actually drove our own cars, but we went together, like caravanning down it was a convoy, I'm not gonna lie.
Remember the walkie?
And we had walkie-talkies.
It's not long without this.
And purely just for the novelty of walkie-talkies, we had cell phones at the time. My cell phone's on my hip, and I hear, "What's your 20?" I'm still right behind you.
I'm the only car on the road.
Well, we were driving by ourselves, so it was just instead of having to have the cell phone on and rack up the minutes, we literally just had walkie-talkies, just keep each other company. We were like, "Hey, you hungry yet? You want to pull over?" "No, I'm good." "All right, let's go for another 10 miles."
You want to pull over? Over. I'm good. Over. Just for
Where'd you do the sound? You don't have to do the sound; it already does that for you.
Echo Foxtrot, Niner.
But a couple of times, I don't know if we did it together. I know I did once or twice when I was driving up and down. I did that. I hooked it over to the coast and drove that Southern Oregon, Northern California coast, and it's incredible. So I don't know. I know that one's good. I wouldn't mind doing that one again.
Did you stop in Santa Cruz again?
In Santa Cruz? Probably.
I mean, that's where you filmed Ted and Sheeran.
Yeah. Well, I know I've been there, so I assume I stopped there.
Thank you. Hi.
That's all right. I got my coffee. I'm good to go.
It's mostly for Jared, but I wouldn't mind your input too, Jensen. Recently you posted a picture of you wearing Sam's tattoo. So, are we going to get to see that in an episode? Are we going to get to see Sam get it? Or are we going to find out why now?
It was a makeup tattoo. I don't actually have it.
Yeah.
Taking shirtless selfies again. I know we both agreed that we were just going to leave that to Mark Shepard.
It was an Ussie because it was with Mel. Yeah, it was down. It was right before we stole your jet skis. Yeah, so it was for an episode, and I don't think I'll be giving anything away by saying it's not current Sam Vessel. Sam, it's a flashback of sorts.
Can I ask one more question?
Yes.
Why?
Just don't get me
got the
fired.
mic.
Don't get me fired.
Why has Sam not gotten re-tattooed? Because he's messing around with strange demons without protection, and that's dangerous.
Yeah, but I mean, he sounds like a Winchester. Sorry, plug your ears.
Because he's Sam Winchester, not Sam Lewis Chester.
That was my favorite. I got giddy. I was like, I still kind of do.
Right here. Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
So you guys are adorable and your kids are absolutely adorable as well. And so I'm wondering, how do they realize what all of this is yet? Like how have they come to that consciousness yet?
No, not at all. They just know that I work with Uncle Jensen and Uncle Griffey. But they know they can see me on the screen, but I don't think they realize, like my niece, Juliet, who's born in 08, so she's 7. She was in like first grade, she was 6 years old, and I guess one of her teachers was like, Padalecki? Like, Jared Padalecki? She goes, yeah, that's my uncle. And like, it finally occurred to her that I was on TV. I know every now and again, we're exhausted, we'll hand like an iPad over to one of the kids. And be like, here, watch Dinosaur Train, or like watch, Peppa Pig, or whatever it is, Wild Kratts. I'm like plugging all these shows. I have no financial affiliation with any of those shows. And I guess if you watch YouTube, there's a screen where you can push things, and I guess there was a picture of me, and so he pushed it, and it was a scene like where Sam was getting beat up by somebody. I know, and I wasn't there, but it took Jen a second to understand like what was going on, and she looked over, and he looks mortified. She's like, what are you watching? And she grabbed it, and I was like, buddy. And he goes, that man hurt daddy. And so I'm on set, and I'm filming, and I get back to my phone, and I have like 6 missed text messages, like, hey, call me, FaceTime me as soon as you can. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And so she just wanted me to like talk to Tom, be like, it's just pretend, buddy, look, I'm all fine, nothing happened. Oh, and then I was FaceTiming, so Sam gets injured a little bit in the beginning of season, what are we, and so I was FaceTiming, because I'd be at work before the kids woke up, and I'd get home after they went to bed, so I'd FaceTime with them, but I can't like wash my makeup off to FaceTime to get the makeup put back on to film. So I had to keep on explaining, like, hey, kiddo, look, it's just not real, it's fake. It's really cute, but mine serves you. How's Jaybird?
No, she doesn't. She'll see me, like if there was a commercial or the show happens to be on TV, flip channels. Danielle said the other day, I happened to pop up, it was a commercial, and she just goes, oh, hey, there's Daddy. And then she just goes right back to doing whatever. So, yeah.
My kids want me to like turn it off and put Ice Age on. Oh, there's Daddy. Put Ice Age back on.
Yeah. There's Daddy. Can we watch planes?
Thank you. Yes, first row.
Okay, so my question kind of goes along with hers. Your children are adorable.
Thank you.
How do you guys balance your time between work on the Supernatural set and then your children?
Delicately.
It's really difficult. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of my kind of anxieties and stuff are from trying to balance everything. I've had to kind of force myself to stop trying to multitask. Like when I'm on set, I'm there to work. You know what I mean? I'm there with my crew. I'm there with my fellow actors. But it's difficult to try and be a daddy and a husband and a friend and a brother and a son and a father while working. And I think he and I still have the same dedication to Sam and Dean Winchester that we did before Wives and Kids happened. And so when I'm at work, I don't want to say work, but I'm acting. When I'm Sam Winchester, I'm Sam effing Winchester, right?
You're in work mode.
I'm in work mode. And conversely, when I go home, Sam is out the window, and I'm dad, I'm husband, I'm friend, we're out to the internet. So I just had to convince myself to stop trying to multitask.
Yeah, it's interesting. So both of our families have actually been up here with us for the past month, just because it's so damn hot in Texas. It's awesome here right now. So, so they've been here for a while, but Danielle actually mentioned the other day, this is during the week, and we're filming 12 hours a day, coming home, going right to bed, waking up the next morning and going right back to work. There's not a whole lot of time during the week when we're filming to kind of get into dad mode or husband mode or So she kind of said, "You've been really distant the past like couple days," and this was like on a Thursday or something. And I realized that like throughout the week, I kind of stay in work mode because I'm thinking about, okay, what do I have to do tomorrow? I've got these scenes. I've got we're shooting out in this location. That means it's going to be a tight turnaround because we're traveling an hour. And that's 2 hours of travel.
And that's a big day of dialogue, so I'm going to pre-learn the
So I
scenes.
better read
now.
the scenes and start, figuring out when am I gonna do this, when am I gonna do that, and I kind of keep that work mode throughout the week, and then usually when he and I will travel home on the weekends to Texas, I leave all that up here, and I'm able to just compartmentalize that and keep it up here. And when I arrive in Texas, it's like, dad mode.
And I read somewhere, he and I both also have dogs, and I had dogs before kids. And I read somewhere, this is before, I think I was like reading how to socialize a dog with a baby and this and that. And they said something to the effect, whoever was writing this, was just try and spend like 10 to 15 quality minutes with your dog every day. Even if you're around your dogs 24/7, if they're next to you, it's different being next to you and having a connection. And so I really try and focus on being in the here and now, if I'm at work, or if I'm with my dogs, or if I'm with my family. If the kids are busy and I get 5 minutes, even in the same room with my wife and kids, I get 5 minutes to focus on Jen and I and what's going on, as opposed to kind of constantly being aware of everything around. I feel like it, because I get distant too. I get the same commitment. Luckily, we have patient wives who get it, and they're not like, how dare you, they get their actresses, right? So they're like, hey, you're in work mode. Like, remember, like, Jesus, thank you.
Yeah, I'd like Danielle will come up and she'll be like, hey, pay attention to her. And she'll say that just, lovingly, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, of course, yes. Stop what I'm doing and pay attention to my daughter. She's growing at an incredible rate, and I'm gonna miss things if I don't pay attention. So it is a very delicate thing that he and I will help each other out with. We try to support each other in balancing that family work life.
Yeah.
But,
when it's a weekend and he's calling me incessantly, I do him a favor and don't answer.
It's true. He screens my calls. But yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks for acknowledging also, because it is a big, crazy life. I see a standard. Hi. I like the shirt. Yeah, right on. Welcome.
It is really hot as hell at home.
Yeah.
And this is really nice.
Isn't it nice?
I'm like, can I just stay here until the summer's over?
That's basically what our wives are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not here to see us. They're here for the free air conditioning.
You don't even need air conditioning.
That's what I'm saying. It's just nature's air conditioning.
That's all we do at home. Walk from one AC to another. My question is, I just wanted to thank you for bringing attention to mental illness and depression. I have severe depression and anxiety disorder. Sorry. And
There's nothing to be apologizing for.
a lot of my friends and family don't really know. And just the fact that you came out and said that means a lot. And thank you for doing that. And the attitudes in reverse that you have as well, thank you for that too, because it's not just women in general that feel that way. It's a lot of people have these poor attitudes about social stigmas and everything. And I just want to thank y'all for bringing attention to that. And what other causes do you want to participate in the future or bring light to in the future?
God, that's a great question. First off, thank you for sharing.
Your family here now knows.
We're all family. We all have your back. It's a really neat, I don't know the right word for it, but it's a really amazing, fantastic, awesome opportunity to get to a place where you can really affect change, and I think he and I have kind of grown with each other. We were successful actors before the show started, but now we've really got this voice. We're working, we're growing and learning as husbands and fathers and friends and everything. And so he and I are at a place where our eyes and ears are open, and that's one of the reasons we started the foundation, is to kind of, as different causes and different things reveal themselves that we might not be aware of yet, we can help kind of get them up and going and up and running and help them however we can. But I think the real help is this, it's sharing, because if anybody says they've never gone through something, then they're either lying or they're one day old, you know. In that case, they shouldn't be talking. That'd be really strange. So yeah, just sharing, being open-minded, and having the forgiveness for those that don't understand what you're going through, that they don't have for you, or for me. You know, so I try to remind myself, like if somebody doesn't really empathize or understand, and I want to be like, you know, I want to tell myself, like, you know, give them the forgiveness that you're hoping to get from them, or the understanding. You know, the understanding they just don't know yet. That's fine. Give them a chance to learn and grow, as we ourselves can learn and grow. Thank you.
How you think they grew since season 1, your sort of connection with them, because it's been a long time.
How their relationship grew, or how they sort of individually?
Yeah, how they grew along with the show,
Oh, I see.
other than your hair.
Other than the hair. I feel like the brothers reestablished a connection, obviously, over the last 200-something hours of television. But I feel like, I remember when I was probably going back to reading with Kripke and Nutter for the pilot, and there were some things that we were reading, or maybe even while shooting the pilot, and they had listen, when you see this woman in white, it spooks you, but you're not you know, it's not a big deal for you. It's a task to be completed. It's not holy crap, what is this? And so that's how I feel now. As Jared and Sam, it's I've seen it, gonna carry on with it, you know, as opposed to not feeling afraid as Sam, but feeling you know, reluctant, okay, well, this is a job, we gotta do it. Whereas early Sam sort of didn't want to be a part of it, didn't want to deal with it, was a little afraid of it. So I feel like that was a big difference for Sam, at least. I agree.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alyssa.
Hi. I'm Hallie.
Jared. It's Jensen.
Good to know. I wrote it down somewhere.
I got it here somewhere.
I'm sorry. Okay, so in the episode of After School Special, Sam had a teacher that told him that he should follow his own path and that he doesn't need to be whatever his family wants him to be. He doesn't need to be in the family business. And, you know, that stuck with him because he talked to him later on, obviously. I was wondering if you guys had a teacher that ever did that to you, that ever gotten through to you like that or inspired you?
Yeah, I did. Actually, my high school drama teacher was very much like that. Very much, not down with the man kind of thing, but hey, you know, it's start questioning things. Don't, you know, just because this is what you've always thought doesn't mean. He had some great, it wasn't his own quote, but something to the effect of if you're not open to learning, then right now is as smart as you'll ever be. You know, if you're not open to being wrong, or the possibility that you could do something better, or do something different, or learn something else. So the more closed-minded you are, the more sure that you're right, the more likely it is that you're wrong, and you're just gonna get stupider from here. That sounded very down. Volcanoes are like mountains. But it's actually been a recurring, and maybe that's a great answer for Alyssa. Learning to be who you are is a big lesson that's meant a lot for Jared, as well as for Sam. And I feel I don't know if any of y'all have read Felicia's book. I just finished Felicia's book. And she has a very similar message. She's you know, you can waste your whole life trying to be somebody else, or you can spend your life being who you are. So I think it's a great message. And I had some people, luckily, kind of help me out along the way.
Yeah, I had several teachers growing up that kind of helped me. I wasn't the smartest guy in class. I wasn't. You know, I wasn't an all A student. I was mainly B's, but I was really trying to get a lot of A's, and I worked very hard. And one of the subjects that I just could not excel at was English. writing papers. Again, it goes back to the conceptualizing thing. I just, like term paper, like that, the whole thing, like doing book reports, and it was like, oh, I'd rather go to the dentist. And I had I believe it was my 10th grade English teacher, Mrs. Patterson. She basically took the time to say, okay, I understand you're having trouble doing this. Let's find a different way for you to do this and to learn what I'm trying to teach you. And she really worked with me, and it kind of was the first time where I was like, oh, I don't have to feel bad about myself anymore because I'm not getting an A or I'm not getting as good at grades as as my friends or the people next to me. It's just that I need to come at it from a different approach and still get the lesson that's being taught. And so that was kind of an eye-opener for me, and I was very grateful for that. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Hey there.
I would like to thank your parents for your, good job so, you have been playing...
I caught a glimpse on your face, like...
So you've been these characters for over 10 years, and you probably, dare say know them better than the writers do. What is your most recent in-character dream?
Oh. Weird enough, I dream about Ruby a lot. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh. I win.
I wonder if she dreams about Sam.
Don't say it.
I don't dream as Dean.
Dreamt you're on a boat.
I don't think I do. Yeah.
Most of my Sam dreams, honestly, most of my Sam dreams are not as Sam. It's more like my work to do for Sam. Like it's my dreams as Jared, going to work or something at work, being at work, something going on, not necessarily in character.
I'll dream that Jensen is in a situation that you would see on Supernatural. Like I have kind of a recurring themed dream where it's, apocalyptic. It actually, oddly enough,
That's terrifying.
Yeah, no, if I could control it, I would. There's a movie coming out, it's got a really bad title. It's Owen Wilson, and he's like, what is it? No Escape. I saw that trailer, and I'm like, that's my dream. I literally have that kind of dream, and I always have somebody that is either injured or slow or that I'm having to carry and trying to save their life and my life.
Is it a zombie movie?
Yeah, we're being chased. No, it's not even zombies. It's like military or like terrorists or... It's awesome. It's a really fun dream. But yeah, that is my reoccurring nightmare that I have. And it's, I don't know what it means. If there's anybody that reads dreams out there, don't tell me because I don't want to know.
I'm going to get a voice recorder or something and put it on loop. I'm going to record the commercial and slip it under Jensen's bed. Every night as he's sleeping, I'll computer activate it to where you actually are hearing, run!
The good news is though, I never, I haven't lost yet. I always make it. So,
you're not Dean Lose, Chester.
So I was wondering, if you guys had to sum each other up in 3 words, what words would you use?
Jensen. No, that wasn't the description. That was telling him to start.
And that would have been 1 word. 3 words?
Jeez. That doesn't count as a word. That's not a word.
Does that count?
There are a lot. There are a lot I mean, we've known each other for a long time in a pretty thorough way.
Obviously, he has a poor choice of words right now. Maybe this isn't a good question for either of us.
Like a volcano. That's actually. What's a good one-word for hard work? Diligent, maybe? Diligent? Stalwart? Dedicated?
Are you giving me ideas for you?
No. Though you can borrow them if you want to. Anthem. I would say, yeah, talented, loyal. Yeah, but that's not really an adjective.
That's just descriptive.
I mean, it's tough. It's tough to sum it up with 3 words. My vocabulary is not as good as it used to be. Shorter than me. Shorter than I. Yeah, 2 of your words can be grammar Nazi.
Yeah.
Difficult. But if I were to not use 3 words but 3 descriptions, I'd say he's loyal to a fault. He's dedicated to his friends and family, and he's genuinely caring.
That is not 3 words.
Yeah, 3 ideas. I don't know. There's probably a word.
It's like 3 words. Okay.
He likes to play golf.
Father, friend that works hard, and when he shows up for work, he's always dedicated to his craft.
Yes, that
Loves
works.
himself.
Yeah.
He loves his friends and his family, and he dedicates his work.
That's my favorite word.
Everything. Yeah, I'd say right in there somewhere. Okay,
There might be a word for that in like
17
German
words,
or
but
something.
It's fine. Yeah.
It's a long German word that.
You know what? I got it. A good friend. Shorter than me.
Hi.
Have you surfed on that?
It's not exactly usable, but
No, that does not look usable.
but I was hoping it actually has meaning because I picked this up at a prop auction and it seemed to have no story attached to it. But I was wondering if you guys could fill in the blanks.
Well, we all know what Biggersons is. I don't remember that, but did you go back and watch the Biggersons episode and see if it was?
I picked out some of the major ones and I didn't find it.
Can you bring that closer?
Show the camera.
What's on the wall?
I don't personally recognize it. You know what we should ask? We could.
So the board was shaped in '84, but it's that sign is top coated. That's just that got put on later. I imagine it may have been in the lockup in our set deck lockup. They probably slapped that sign on it and put it up in the background of one of the Biggersons. We may not have ever seen it. That's the one. I think that's a fault, or one of the faults of shooting a television show and having such an incredible art department is the details that Jerry and his crew and that they put into John, that they put into the sets are so incredible that sometimes, just due to the nature of the scenes, they're never seen on camera. But they can't assume that certain corners of the restaurant aren't going to be seen, so they detail it out 360 degrees. So that may have been up in the back of one of the restaurants, and we just may have never seen it because the cameras didn't actually point that way. And then when they decided to clear up some space, which they have to do every now and again because there's a lot of props and a lot of set deck that gets stored there, that may have been one of the ones that got dismissed.
It's
So,
cool, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
because I saw I saw a bunch of stuff on Tumblr.
Always a huge supporter.
All good stuff, all good stuff. I was actually wondering what made you guys want to audition for Supernatural?
Welcome to the family. How many episodes have you seen?
All of them a few hundred times.
I was really excited to do a show that was very different than the one that I was currently doing, though I love the one that I was currently doing. But I've been a fan of the X-Files. I've been a fan of like Twilight Zone growing up. My dad and I would watch it. And so I liked the genre. I didn't want to do a campy, supernatural themed, sci-fi themed show like Buffy or Angel. They're all fun, charmed. They're all great, but I didn't want to do that show. But I was like, if it's an X-Files type show or Twilight Zone, yeah, absolutely. And then reading the script, and I'm a lifelong Star Wars fan, and we talked earlier about the archetypes, and so I immediately clicked with the story and the overarching storylines and the archetypes, and I just thought it was a great, cool idea, and I was excited to do one episode of it. One episode of it. And then it never ended.
Let's be honest, we were in our 20s and we were looking for work.
That too. Oh,
And here comes along a script that is getting some pretty good feedback and they are interested in us. Where do I sign?
How much do I have to pay?
Yeah. What's the story about? Actually, I don't care. It's a job, and I'm in. What do I have to do? Oh, I have to put on a gym teacher's outfit? Okay. I can do that.
Get in a room with bees?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we can do that. It's. I will say that, Jared and I have gone out and auditioned and tried out for numerous projects. Some that were really bad, some that were really good. Those we didn't get any of those, and we just so happened that there was a show that came along, and they were interested in us from the start almost. Luckily, because we had a couple of people that were involved with the producing side of it that knew who we were, and so that relationship really kind of paid out. And it just it was just kind of a bonus that the script was so great and the characters were so good and Eric was such a talent, and here we are today. So it's nobody could have.
And here y'all are today.
Thank you. Hey there.
Hey guys. So my question is, if you could do another alternate universe episode like It's a Terrible Life, what kind of jobs would you like to see Sam and Dean have?
Working at Toys R Us!
Yeah, no retail probably. They'd probably be short-tempered, especially Dean.
Can you imagine Dean at like a Toys R Us?
Well, he's good with kids.
Sir, this dresser is missing a screw. Figure it out. Get some duct tape.
Excuse me, sir. Do you mind if I climb up and grab that car up there? I don't care if you shoot someone in front of me.
I think Sam would probably be a good maintenance guy, because I'm always the guy that they're like, can you reach that off the top? Can you change that light bulb? I'm like, yeah. That's all I got. Paint strippers, like cars, paint strippers.
Right,
Just
stripping the paint off of cars. Yeah, dude, probably do that. Yeah, like a body shop, right?
Yeah, the body shop.
The body shop. Magic Winchester.
I'll never Magic Winchester.
Magic Winchester XXL.
suitcase just fainted. And then the suitcase just went, the suitcase just all on its own. Is there someone in there? I think Sam would like to be a teacher, but I think Jared would like to be a teacher, so I don't know.
A surf instructor.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi guys. You're amazing, just by the way.
You're amazing.
So my question is, what is your guys' favorite memory from the set?
Wow, there are a lot. That's a lot.
That's like, what was your favorite memory of the past 10 years of your life?
She's like, easy, last Monday. There have been a lot. There is a crazy special feeling on the last day of filming each season. It's the coolest, probably like the last hour or two of shooting each season, I get this indescribable feeling. Like, we've talked about this, we're so, like, almost one-track minded with like a singular focus during the season. You know, we're at work, we gotta tell these guys stories. Like, we have to honor Sam and Dean Winchester the same way y'all do. You know, we have to bring them to life. And it becomes a singular focus. And right about kind of halfway through the last day, you start seeing the light, you know? Yeah, the light at the end, but it's not saying the tunnel's over, there will be another tunnel, but at least you're out of this one. And it's this cool feeling, like graduating high school or college or something, where you're like, oh my God, like we did it, it's over, it's over. There's a really cool, it's really difficult to quantify, like to have feelings of success within the year because you're working. You're like, you know, if episode 1 ends, tomorrow's episode 2. When episode 2 ends, tomorrow's episode 3. And you're going, and every day on the way home from work, you're working on what do you have to do the next day. If it's Friday, you're already like flipping through, like, okay, what am I doing Monday? Okay, I'm gonna have to start working on that Saturday, so Saturday midday when the kids are asleep, like you're kind of always planning. But knowing you have that 2.5 or 3 months, 2.5 months, I guess, between seasons, it's always a really cool feeling. So those 10 experiences have been really special.
I've got many. One that comes to mind, and I'm going to say it for Jared, is watching him fall in love with his wife. Because it was pathetic. I mean, poor Jen, she just, you know, poor Jen, all of a sudden she just like had this tail that was like following her around. And I knew that as soon as I looked over and Jen sitting in her cast chair, she was trying to keep to herself, she was reading a book. And then, I'm not kidding, this is Jared. Sitting with his legs folded, staring up at her, and I'm like, why is he not going back to his trail? Oh. Well, that's happening.
One of my biggest pet peeves in the world is when I'm reading and somebody interrupts me. Unless it's like, hey, your pants are on fire.
I think you and Jen share that too.
We do. And I think in the second episode that she filmed, I remember, because she was like an English major, she reads all the time. She has a degree in English. And she's a voracious reader, especially before kids. Obviously, kids take a lot of time. But I remember, like, I want to talk to her really bad. And so I remember going up and being like, so what you reading? And she'd be like, Hemingway. I'm like, cool. I don't know if I find some Hemingway quotes. I was just thinking, you know, he who doth say Shakespeare. Obviously it worked. That was really cool moment. There's been so many, again, you know, going back to Kim Manners and some of the times we've spent and shared with them, getting in a room that was essentially the size of a bathroom and filling it with 60,000 bees, and then walking in, seeing the whole crew had like bee outfits on. They're like, oh, that's great. We have to wear Sam and Dean's costume, which is this, basically. And then Kim just was like,
he was like, "What are you guys complaining about? Give me an apple box." And he walks into the room, in shorts and a t-shirt, and sits down on the apple box, and goes, "I'll direct from here then." Bees all over him. And we're like, "Okay, well, we can't let this little guy outman us right now." So we did the scene. But again, like I could sit here for hours and just talk about.
And one day we will.
And one day we will.
Woo!
Hi. So I haven't decided yet whether I credit my brother or blame my brother for my obsession with Supernatural. So I'm just wondering if any of your siblings have gotten you obsessed with anything.
Oh, I'm sure. A lot of my music taste probably stemmed from my brother. Like, I think he was, like when grunge came out, it was more his time than my time, but because we shared a room and listened to the same stuff, so I could probably credit him with Pearl Jam. Yeah, so I'm happy about it, but that was probably something that my brother paved the way for.
Yeah, I left home when I was pretty young. I was still a teenager. So my sister was 11, and my older brother was already off to college. But I would say, yeah, music I think is certainly one thing that comes to mind. My brother was, though. He was a big hair 80s band guy. So, like Whitesnake and the Warrens and
Starship Troopers. Sheriff,
Scorpions. And then that kind of led into getting into the older rock, which was the 70s and the 60s, and then just kind of spiraled out of control from there. But yeah, I certainly took that, and I don't know. You have to ask my sister or my brother if I've ever forced them to do anything. I don't think I have, though. There's been a great distance between us just geographically for quite a while, so they're safe from me. Although I know my brother tries to keep up with the show, but he's got 3 kids and a job, and he's pretty busy. But he'll call me and he'll be like, "Hey, so I just finished watching episode 10, season 4." And I'm like, "What? We're in season 11 now." He's like, I know, I'm trying to catch up." So he's probably upset at the fact that I do a TV show and he needs to kind of stay on top of that. But
Yeah, we don't have to my brother's a surgeon, and I don't have to watch an hour of his surgeries 23 times a year.
nor is he expected to. So
Yes.
that is kind of an interesting thing. What's we still good? You guys?
You're good.
You're
good. We haven't.
Why are you guys here?
Go to bed? Because we're super fans. And these are the best seats in the house. You have one more before you have one more.
This is the penultimate question.
Let's the Abby singer.
Let's get a couple more questions in real quick. Go ahead.
Hi guys.
Hey there.
Since you are obviously really, really amazing fathers, would you be able to share a cute story or a funny story about the kids? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, one of the, this little humming, yeah. As a very dedicated father, I was throwing my son on the bed and put his head into the wall. And then another time, and this may go down as the worst moment in my life, he had a dinosaur toy it was hard plastic, and the hard plastic tail came back around, and that's the dinosaurs looking. And it's probably for 7, 8-year-olds to put on their bookshelf. I decided, my son likes dinosaurs, so I bought it for him and I shouldn't have. He was probably 2.5. And we're at the playground and he's rolling the dinosaur down the slide, and I was like, "Quit rolling T-Rex down the slide," and I get up and give it to him. And not joking, this probably was the worst moment of my life. So I'm glad to share it with you here today. So here I am, giddy, and I'm on a playground, and I'm happy, and I'm with my kid, and he's happy, and I'm like, "T-Rex is coming up the slide," and I friggin' launch T-Rex up the slide, T-Rex is not really coordinated necessarily. So hard plastic T-Rex hits the slide, bounces off, propels, flipping through the air, and hits him somewhere in the face. He drops and starts screaming, my eye. My legs went out from under me. I'm like, no joking, like Jen was there, like she still has to like comfort me when I talk about it. And I was like I was going into convulsions, like I didn't think I'd react like this. I was going into convulsions, I thought I just poked his eye out. Finally we get him to pull his hand away, and probably half a centimeter above his left eye is a little dot where the skin has been punctured. And had it been a centimeter different, I would have blinded my son. So I'm just a really good father. Beat that.
There was no injuries involved. I just recently, actually 2 days ago, I took JJ, just her and I. Danielle was off doing woman things, getting her hair done, her nails, or whatever they do. And so I took JJ and we went to this little farm here where they've got like goats, and it's kind of a petting zoo and stuff. And the weather was bad, so there was nobody there. And it was just the two of us. And the lady was like, yeah, you guys go on in, you got the whole place to yourself. So we went out, we were feeding the ducks and feeding the roosters, and we were chasing some chickens, and then with the rabbits and the guinea pigs, then they had this big thing with little goats. And I'm like, oh, this is cool, you can walk right in and hang out in the goat pen. So I walked in.
Things you don't often say out loud.
So I walk in, I let JJ go. She's just running around and like pushing on the goats, and I'm like, oh, that's really good. I'm taking pictures with my phone, and then I look over, and two goats are kind of squared off to each other, and then they just go boom, and like not one knocks the other one totally like off its feet, and I'm like, and we're leaving. Let's go. I just had visions of her just getting pummeled, like that Stride commercial, like with a ram, takes That's all I saw was just JJ going like end over them, like, yeah, okay, we're going back to the bunnies.
And they're not good at keeping secrets. Like when Jen goes out of town or something, and I have the boys, I love it. We sleep in, we watch Ice Age, we eat pizza and probably candy all day long.
Ice cream dinners.
And then Mama gets home the next day. She's like, "How were they?" I'm like, "Great time. To bed on time. We went outside, yada yada." "Hey Tom, did you like yesterday?" "I ate candy."
Yeah, we are on par for being those dads. So
he must have found it. I don't know how he got it. It still has pizza stains on. His clothes on from like 2 days before. Oh yeah, I'll have the kids every now and again, and she'll be out. She's like, "Hey, do you want to come meet up?" And I'm like, "Sure." And so I'll get the kids and put them in clothes, and then show up at the restaurant and like they don't have shoes on. So I guess one of the pictures made it to one of the websites, and the kids weren't wearing shoes, and she was like, "I told you to put shoes on them." we don't let our kids wear shoes when we're on city streets. Fun times.
Okay,
it's a learning process.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I know that leads us to the last question. Wait.
Oh, you're on it.
Before we get to the last question.
Yes.
There's a few people standing out in this crowd that need to be acknowledged.
Let's do it.
Because we're filming in Vancouver, there's some very, very important people that have decided to stop by and try to figure out why the heck we're still on air for 10 years. And they're right over there.
Cliffy is waving his hands.
So in that section there,
guys, there's some supernatural crew.
that is.
Supernatural crew. There they are. There we are.
The rest.
Is that Mike over there? Is that Mike?
Yeah, Mike.
If I could just get a burrito warmed up for me, that would be.
The rest of them hightail it up.
And he's hurt himself again. He's going to need some bandages and some. No, these people, they are true heroes of what we do, and we would not be able to do anything without their incredible expertise and their professionalism. And poor Marion, he's He has to put up with us he is the one. Marion, stand up. Stand up, buddy.
First to see us, last to see us.
So he has the unfortunate job of herding us like cats. He has to make sure that we get to work on time.
Not hurting us like cats.
No, herding. Yes. Generally, it's Jared. Jared, this way. No, come on. Jared, get off the, okay. Shiny things. There we go. Yeah, so there's true heroes are right over there. The true stars of the show are right sitting over there.
Now everybody in the room knows where they are.
Now that means us.
I want you to know they're over there and they love hugs right after this.
They do love hugs.
Very approachable, very touchable.
Hugs and pictures.
Speaking of approachable, Norton, you know what time it is, gentlemen. Robbie, what time is it? It is the last question.
It's the last question.
The very last question.
It's the last question.
Just one question.
It's the last question.
Say it ain't so. It's the last question.
It's the last question.
Who's the last question?
It's the last question.
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 Here they are. Last question of the panel. We need 2 awkward seats. Jared,
Have a seat.
2 awkward seats.
Have a seat. This is the awkward portion of the evening.
Say hi to the family.
You posted on your Twitter that you were all costumed up and ready to mingle at San Diego Comic-Con, and they all want to know, who did you cosplay as and how did you come across that?
That's her name?
Wow, I want to see your birth certificate.
What's your last name? I mean,
What's your name? Melissa. That makes more sense. Or is Melissa your question? Just kidding.
everybody, the question is, Melissa?
Gotcha. Okay. So you're referring to a tweet that I sent out saying that I was going to mingle amongst the Comic-Con weekend thing, and I was costumed up. No. I can't give away my secrets.
Did you notice the cosplayer who was being followed by like 10 security guys? It's always a good sign of like when
I dressed up as Dean Winchester. No, I did not. I was just getting to San Diego, and I was gearing up to go mingle amongst the people that were there.
Is anybody at Comic-Con?
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't go out on the floor. That might be dangerous.
I'm dying to go.
I would love to go.
Though I don't know if I have the patience to actually wait, so I would be the guy like...
Let me ask you this. Who would you cosplay as to go and walk down on the floor at Comic-Con?
Chewbacca.
Boba Fett.
Chewbacca.
By the way, I just want you to know something. The entire band said that in unison. This is not a rehearsal. They're like, Chewbacca, you be Chewbacca.
You can't start a song at a time.
Okay.
Do you remember that Bryan Cranston
Yes.
famously walked the floor in a high
With
school
a Walter
dress?
White.
Yeah, they came on right after our on Hall H. He was in there in the Hall H waiting room.
Oh, that's awesome. Wearing the
Y'all
mask?
y'all hosted 1 year too late.
Yeah, I guess so.
Was he weirded out that you were dressed as Chewbacca? Was that?
He was.
Did he try to have you removed?
He did. Guys, thank you for the
Thank you.
That was the last question. That was the last question. Everything's over. Your dreams are done. You got to stop dreaming again. Take it for a moment. Ain't a lot of money. Ladies and gentlemen, Jensen Ackles and Jared Cadillac. Thank you, Vancouver. We appreciate you very much.
This is the city that houses the show that we love, and we're very thankful not only for letting us film here and taking such good care of us, but for showing up to something like this and showing the support. And it's always humbling and inspiring, and we thank you, and we're really happy that they can see the love that you guys. Thank you. Love you too.